Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a pick a card reading called Dealing with a Difficult Person. So, you guys, we're going to do some real talk today. Of course, I have had a lot of suggestions in the comments and the emails and the DMs about this one. Also, I tend to do a lot of readings on this topic as well. I have dealt with many a difficult person in my life, been on a long journey of cutting cords and leaving behind people that no longer serve me. So I'm hoping that I can provide some insight on this today and also see what the cards have to say about the situation. So before we go any further, just as a disclaimer, remember that this is a general reading and may not resonate with everyone. Only trust your own intuition above all else. And some of the messages that come out might resonate, some might not. So only trust what you feel really you're vibing with here today, okay? So if you would like to get a message, go ahead and choose one of these crystals. We've got number 1, the Aventurine Crystal. Number 2, the Yellow Citrine Crystal. And number 3, we have the Raw Quartz Crystal. So once you have chosen, if you choose number 1, then we're going to get started right away. If you choose any of the other crystals, then you can head to the comments below where my lovely subscribers help me by posting the timestamps. Thank you guys so much for your help with that. And we're just going to freestyle draw some cards today and see what's going on in this situation, okay? So we're going to get started for those of you guys who choose number 1. So first question here is what is the nature of your relationship with this person? What's their deal? So let's pull some cards for that. What's this person's deal? What's going on here in this dynamic between you guys? Oh gosh, I got a clear download, a clear message right away about what's going on here, but I am gonna just quickly pull a couple of clarifiers. Okay, so we've got a lot of people here for this reading. This could be a family member. It could be a friend or a frenemy, somebody you've known for a while, coworker, whatnot. But there's a common theme here. You are at this place in your life where you're really slaying things. You are working towards your goals. This is the responsibility message here. You're at this point in your life where you've decided I'm gonna take responsibility. I see where I'm at right now. I also see where I want to go. I have some goals that I've set for myself, and I am going to get there one step at a time. And it's kind of a struggle right now. You're moving from one place to a completely different level in your life. It reminds me of somebody who might be, working a low-income job, living with roommates, and you've decided you're going to get your degree and you're going to move out and get your own home. Or it's somebody who's decided that you're going to get married and you want to have some children and you kind of want to get some space and live a more private life. Or maybe you've decided I want to move out of my family's house and go make my place in the world. So there's a common theme here of getting out on your own in the world, going after your own goals, your own dreams, your own desires, and moving towards what you feel is defined as success for you. So this person is basically kind of frustrated because they see the happiness you found in your life. You're the kind of person who finds the silver lining in every situation. You've really changed your thoughts and your perceptions, and you're striving after what brings you joy in life. So even though you're working really hard and it's kind of an uphill climb, you have a positive outlook and you're manifesting a lot of success in your life right now. And the hard work that you've done, the commitment that you've made is paying off. So this person doesn't necessarily see your struggle. they kind of have this impression that everything's been handed to you, or that it's easy for you, or kind of this feeling of like it's not fair that you get to do this and they don't. This person doesn't really have strong boundaries, so they don't see that line, that boundary of where they end and you begin. They kind of feel like your success isn't fair, or they compare themselves to you. And that's really natural as humans. I think we do tend to compare ourselves to other people, and we have to work really hard at remembering that we're all on our own unique path. We're all on our own unique journey. We all have opportunities. We all have our own life to live, and each and every one of our lives will be filled with contrast, times of suffering, times of pain, times of hardship, but we also all get to experience joy and happiness and bliss and success and fun. So this person's looking at your life and they're just seeing the highlights. They're not really seeing the struggle, and they feel like everything's easy for you and it's not fair. This person is at a point in their life where they haven't really set their own intentions. They don't necessarily know what they want yet, and we all go through that at times. They're kind of in this hermit mode right now where they're they need to tap into their intuition and their insight and just figure out what they want to do with their time here. And they're kind of jealous that you've already figured that out and like you're just moving forward, and they feel really stuck. So it's making them feel kind of bitter towards you. Instead of this person just being happy for your success and supporting you like a true friend or family member or person would, they're looking at it and it's filling them with anger because it's rubbing them the wrong way. Like it's almost just kind of shoving it in their face, like what they haven't done yet and what like they need to do. So yeah, it's kind of a difficult situation. This person, we see unemotional here, and this says unemotional relationships. It's almost like this person isn't able to empathize with you or isn't able to like be there for you. But then we also see like advice. It's almost like you give this person advice and you're there for them when they're down and out, but they're not there for you. And so it feels like a relationship that's very one-sided. At least that's how it stands right now. And then this is once again another message about opportunities coming in your life. So it's just a little awkward, you know. I think in a perfect situation here, this person would be able to be inspired by your success and would be able to support you even if they're going through a hard time. And I feel like you want to be there for this person and help them or give advice or even just listen to them. And they're just not having it. They're blinded by their jealousy and by their anger. This could just be where they're at in life right now, but for some of you guys, this might be how it's always been. I would really urge you to ask yourself, like, is this just something that this person's going through? Or is this really just what the dynamic has always been like with this person? Because the best indication of future behavior is kind of like past behavior and how this person's always acted. People can change, but you're not responsible to changing this person. And, you know, no matter what tactic you try with them, this might be someone who really seeks to pull you down. And you're at a place in your life where you need to climb high. So let's just look at the advice here. I already have a lot of advice for you based off the situation, but let's take it to the cards as a guideline and see what's coming out specifically. So what can you do about this situation? Actually, maybe I'll pull some cards and just see how this is affecting you first. Then we'll look and see like what you can do. How is this affecting you? My Wildwood deck today, Old Faithful, is just really wanting to speak to you. Okay, so how is this affecting you? So first of all, you're going through an awakening. You know, awakening, it could be spiritual awakening, or it could just be like you're at a point in your life where you're making a lot of changes and you've changed the way that you're looking at situations. You're embracing your uniqueness. That's what this card says. I love that. So it's like, once again, you're moving forward, and here's you and this person, and you guys are kind of like at odds a little bit. You want to surround yourself with people who support your dreams, because you're making a lot of progress. You have a really bright future ahead that's being manifested through all of your hard work and your creativity. But it's hard because you feel like your energy is being drained when you're surrounded by this person, when you're with them, when you're talking to them. You feel like they're holding you back, almost like it's causing you to kind of procrastinate, or you have this fear of like kind of shining too bright around this person because you want to make them feel better. So it's like you're not able to share with this person the happiness you have, the success you have. It's kind of like you have to dull your sparkle around this person. And this person does cause you to kind of overanalyze your options and like your choices and decisions. It's not like they're causing you to do that, because like only you can cause yourself to do anything, but the energy of this person, like when you leave hanging out with them or talking to them or being around them, you tend to overanalyze and worry, like, wait, did I make the good choice? Did I make the right path? Like the energy after hanging out with them, it sends you back to a place where you're doubting yourself. So being around this person kind of leans you more towards doubting yourself. That's like what you're picking up from it. So you have to be really emotionally strong around this person, and so it kind of drains your energy. So yeah, it's basically just a situation where this person is kind of pulling you down. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, this person is not conscious of it. For some of you, this, sadly enough, there are people out there who get off on that kind of stuff, very narcissistic people, or maybe people with personality disorders or something, and that's just how they are. I think that's probably true for a couple of you guys, but I think for most of you guys, this person just isn't aware of it, which doesn't excuse them, but it also means you don't have to look at this person as just like evil. I think that it's not like they're doing it on purpose, but it also doesn't mean that you have to allow that in your life. So now let's move forward and see like what you can do about this situation, how you can handle this person. Well, awareness is key. Sometimes just bringing awareness to something. Oh my gosh, these messages are so on point. Sometimes bringing awareness to a situation really can kind of help and heal the situation. Like, it's kind of a wake-up call to you to realize, like, look, this person is just dealing with a lot of insecurities right now. Like, point blank, like, that's pretty much just what it is. And for some reason, hanging around you, or maybe anyone, they're very sensitive, so they get triggered by, people's success and stuff. So this is kind of a message saying that you do have a close relationship with this person. I'm not sure about you cutting this person out of your life altogether, unless this is very toxic and your intuition is telling you to do so. But this is the movement card. It's like, this is telling you, look, as you move forward in life, you're naturally going to move away from this person and kind of detach from them a little bit. So just naturally allow that process. You don't have to worry about this person and continue to go back to them and make sure they're okay. Maybe you've been playing a really codependent role in this person's life. And so this is saying you need to kind of just slowly detach. Ask yourself, like, is it best for me to really be connecting with this person's energy so often? And, when you do go around this person, ground yourself. Like, you might just have to realize, like awareness. I'm going around this person. When I'm around them, they usually say things like this. They usually act like this. This is usually like, I usually walk away feeling insecure myself, and it's like rubbing off on me. And I'm an empath. I'm soaking up this like a sponge. So before you go there, like shielding yourself, imagining a shield to protect you, if that helps. Realizing that you can be there for them or be kind to them, but also that you don't have to take on their energy. Once again, just awareness is key, and not expecting them to, be super kind, or not expecting them to applaud you for the work you've done. You might realize boundaries. There might be some things you can talk about with this person and it's fine. And there might be other things you talk about and that's just kind of that's what brings out their tapes, or that's what brings out that side of them. So you might just realize there's certain topics I can talk about with this person, and there's certain things I can't. And you can only control what you say and how you're reacting to people. So, you know, if they say something, take it with a grain of salt. Like, you might realize you're going to have to schedule a half hour to write in your journal afterwards. So if there's anything they have said that bothers you, or a way they've treated you, it's causing you to overanalyze things, like, just come home, write about it in a journal, and ask yourself, like, what is your truth? Always take it back to your truth. No matter what anyone says about your life or your choices or decisions or whatever, always take it back to your truth. Like, have faith in what you're doing. Just because this person is a little insecure and sad doesn't mean that you also have to be. So this is the kingfisher. It's kind of like flying above it, flying high. This water here symbolizes emotion, deep thoughts, flying above it. And then this is also spending some time in thought, asking yourself how, like, if this is a family member or someone you've grown up with, or like a coworker or someone you like have to spend time with or be around, limit that as much as possible. Go into it prepared, knowing what you need to expect with this person. And then for some of you guys, this might be someone you want to detach from. So this is like taking it back to you and reminding you that you get to decide who deserves a seat at your table. You get to decide who you surround yourself with. And oftentimes you become like the people that you surround yourself with. You're not obligated to be somebody's friend or support them or be there for them if they're treating you like crap. I don't care if it's a family member, if it's your boss, if it's someone you grew up with, a friend or whatever, or someone that, you know, has helped you in the past. Like, you don't have to stay friends or in a relationship with someone out of fear or obligation or guilt. So, you know, spend some time thinking about that, and, you know, ask yourself what you need to do in this situation. A lot of times you can just put up boundaries. You know, I have some friends that I know I can't really talk about spiritual stuff with because they have a different religion, or they have a different background, or because they don't agree with me or whatever. And so I just don't talk about that with them. We have a really good time doing a certain hobby or watching a show that we like together and just talking about random stuff. And there's certain sides of me I won't share with certain people. You know, my real MVPs, my real besties, close friends, you know, people I consider family are people that I can be my true self with. And that's who I like to surround myself with. But I also have other friends that, you know, just kind of in the moment. I've made friends with people who were like, in the past, I had a friend who was Mormon. And we just knew, like, that topic was off limits. She, in the beginning, tried to, like, convert me to her religion. I was just like, no, sis, that's not my juice. It's not my stuff. And, you know, we just realized that's an area that was off limits. But we went on to actually make a really great friendship. We were workout buddies, and we went out to coffee sometimes, and we enjoyed getting to know each other, and like we learned a lot from each other, and she kind of opened my mind to different lifestyle, different way of life, and we shared things, but it was never like we judged each other, and it was never like we knew what those boundaries are. So sometimes in relationships you have to set boundaries, and with some people you can't set boundaries. So anyways, I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but you know, sometimes you can be that one to just go into it knowing you're gonna have to be the one to set all the boundaries, and like, just, you know, if a certain topic comes up, avoid it, don't talk about it. You'll kind of learn the limits with this person, and then at that point realize if it's worth keeping them in your life. You might need to just kind of figure that out a little bit, see if it's worth it for you. But certainly you're gonna have to work on this a little bit with this person, okay? But for a lot of you guys, I don't feel like it's hopeless. I feel like it's just, you got to find out where those limits are and then just kind of work on it. So anyways, I hope that resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and feel free to watch all the other ones if you want more tips on how to handle difficult people. But I really hope that this specific reading resonated with you. Thank you so much once again for coming to my channel and listening to this whole message. I'll see you later. Okay, so for those of you guys who choose number 2, the yellow citrine crystal, let's go ahead and just like look into the dynamic with this person and kind of see what's going on first. This difficult person you're dealing with. This is so interesting. Okay, whoa. I like was not expecting this. So I just kind of need a moment to like just soak this in and pull some clarifiers. Also, before I get into this, I want to say this is a pretty specific message. I kind of feel like there's a couple people who are really meant to hear this. The rest of you guys, this kind of might make sense to your situation. If it doesn't, feel free to pick another number or to like watch all the videos. There's going to be great tips in this whole video for how to handle a difficult person. But for some of you guys, I feel like this person might be your spouse or someone that you're kind of interested in, like in love or something. Or it could be somebody that's a romantic interest of yours, somebody you've been dating or you've been seeing. Basically, this just feels like someone romantic, or it could be someone from your past, like an ex, or this could be somebody who's like really wants to get at you and you're just like not feeling it. So basically, it's like a romantic type of situation. And I feel like it's just difficult, mainly just because you're having trouble reading this person. You know, I don't know if this is the typical like toxic person. For some of you guys, it could be. This could be like an abusive partner. Hopefully it isn't, okay? But I think for a lot of you guys, it's like a communication thing. So I do see that you've been like going with the flow and you've been kind of trying to figure this situation out. This person seems like somebody who really values their freedom, somebody who's extremely independent, somebody who is, it's just like you never know what they're going to do next. They're very unpredictable. And, you know, it's almost like you've been working really hard to try to establish this relationship with this person, or you've been working really hard to try to like figure out where you guys stand or like move to the next level or something, and you're just getting nothing with this person. You know, you feel very drawn to them, and it's almost like you really feel like there's a reason you guys were brought together. Maybe some of you guys believe this is your twin flame or a soulmate, or maybe you even committed to a future together, but and there is kind of this bright energy around the connection, but the problem is that you don't know what's going to happen in the future with them. And this is a difficult person, once again, because they're hot and cold. They're in and out with you, and they're such a free spirit and such a like just unpredictable person that it's almost like you can't pin down if this is worth your time or worth your effort or not. So I see this card saying like the big problem now is you feel like you need to make a decision. You're really being brought to this like, should I stay or should I go point. I kind of want to figure out more of what's going on with this person, like what their deal is. I just feel like I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around this one. Okay, so we've got kind of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde personality. There's like the face that they show you when you guys are like alone, and like that's the part of them that you really like. And then there's the face that they're presenting to the rest of the world. And so this is kind of what they're showing the world. This is the Chariot. They're very successful. They're very dedicated. They are self-disciplined. They're kind of this is somebody who's kind of in the spotlight in their life, gravitates towards leadership positions and whatnot. But with you, it's like this energy of, you're kind of wondering if they can dedicate themselves to all of that. Why can't they commit to me? Or why can't they give time to me? Or why can't they, so there's something like that. I also see that with you, they're very cautious. It's almost like they don't want to go to the next level, or they're not showing signs of that, or they won't make a solid commitment to you, or they're kind of running away from you, or distant, or like emotionally distant from you. Now, this is someone who can be very kind. They're very humorous. They're protective. They're chivalrous. You can depend on them, but at the same time, there's kind of this rift between you guys, and you're feeling like something here needs to be balanced. There might be people in your life that are telling you this person isn't worth it, or they're too all over the place, or there could be a third party situation. Perhaps this person's already married, or perhaps this person is, seeing other people, or maybe that's not true for everyone, but I'm just throwing it out there because I got a vision of that. you guys have different viewpoints that are conflicting a lot. And they kind of want to take their time with the connection. They don't really feel like they want to talk about us or anything. And you're kind of feeling like we need to like figure this out. You feel a sense of urgency here. So how is this affecting you? Kind of how is this person, the difficulty of dealing with this person, how is that making you feel? Now, obviously, only you know your true feelings, so I'm just going to pull out some things here and just go for it, but, you know, trust yourself with this part. Okay, so for you, it's making you feel stuck because you have some choices to make in your life. You might be thinking about traveling or relocating or moving to the next level in your life, and you feel like you can't do that unless you know what's going on with this person. It's really difficult for you to empower yourself right now and to feel positive when this romantic side of your life is kind of just up in the air. And it's affecting like your self-esteem too, because you're starting to think like, is there something wrong with me? Like, do I smell? Is it the way I look? Is it what I said last week? Is it the text I sent? Like, you're kind of over analyzing how you've been acting with this person, and it's making you feel kind of like, making you feel kind of just out of sorts, you know? And you're having trouble with your confidence right now. You know, you're feeling a little bit powerless. You're not feeling very self-confident. You don't know how to get what you want in this situation. And for some of you guys, you have a commitment. There's a ring on your finger, or you guys have made this, like, locked it down, but you still don't feel like you know where you stand with them. For others of you guys, you want the commitment. You want to be with this person, and you're just like, what is taking them so long to make up their mind? Or why are they just kind of stringing me along? Okay? So, let's look at some advice for you on how to handle this person. It's so interesting because I wasn't even thinking like a love, romantic kind of situation was going to come up in these messages at all. But here we go. Okay, so here's another message about happiness. I think for a lot of you guys, you really need to think like, look, your happiness is not dependent on this person. And you always hear that, like, oh, don't make your happiness dependent on another person. Like, only you can make yourself happy. There's like memes like that all over the internet. It's like, we know that, but internalizing that and acting on that concept is a lot harder. I remember years ago when I was like doing a lot of dating, like that really would affect my mood. If I met someone I liked and we were hitting it off and we were moving forward, like I love that. Like it was great, and like it did kind of put a spark in my life and a bounce in my step, you know? And then when I got rejected, or somebody led me on, or somebody cheated on me or something, it would make me feel like crap. So sometimes these feelings are a normal reaction to abnormal events, but you got to look at your life as a whole and ask yourself, like, is this person and connecting with them like taking me down? You know, sometimes it's very difficult to still feel positive when you've got a strong person, strong energy, strong personality draining you constantly all the time. So if this is a partner that you're living with or married to, or someone significant in your life, you do not owe it to anybody to stay with this person, even if there's children involved, even if you've been married 20 years or whatever it is. Like, I feel like a lot of you guys know you want to leave this person. So if that's coming up to you, this might be your confirmation to start thinking about that for you, for the greater good of your happiness. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to say. There's going to be a lot of advice coming up for different people. Some of you guys, this just might be it. It might just say, look, you know, it's done. Like, you need to trust that. You need to trust that this person could be toxic. I will also say, for those of you guys who are being physically, emotionally, or mentally abused by this person, I think there's a couple of you guys watching. Please get help. Google, look online, call hotlines, look for resources, go to psychologytoday.com and get a licensed professional counselor or therapist. You know, it's very difficult, and on average, it takes somebody multiple tries to be able to get out of a bad relationship or get away from an abuser. but it's so worth it. From someone who has gotten away from an abuser, I know what that's like. And if this is somebody who's very abusive to you in any way, you need to start educating yourself on it, because education is key. Know the signs of somebody who's abusive. If you don't know you're being abused, Google it. Like, there's tests you can take. Like, I love the internet. There's so much information. Signs you're being emotionally abused by a romantic partner. Signs you're being financially abused. Signs you're being physically abused. Like, sometimes you just don't know. And our brain, for survival, makes us forget things. Makes us forget. Like let's say your partner hits you, or punches you, or gives you a black eye, or scratches you, or pushes you, or pins you against the wall or something. Like, you forget about it, because a couple days later they're love bombing you again, and they're being kind, and they're saying sorry, and like, oh, they were drunk or whatever. There's always these excuses. So know the signs. And I have so much to say about it, but I'm going to stop. Just know the signs, educate yourself, and start like researching abuse, and start taking notes. Like, you can get a secret journal on your phone, like download an app and put a passcode on it so no one can see it. Every time there's an incident, emotionally, mentally, financially, sexually, physically, whatever it is, write it down and keep track, because you will forget. You will find a way to gloss it over. Oh, it was fine. Oh, it was just one time. Oh, it was just 2 times. Oh, it was just 20 times. They didn't mean it. They're really trying. So, and it's just what we do. And so write it down. And I know that you can get the help that you need. There's so many resources out there. So that's for you guys, okay? Now, for some of you guys, this is somebody that you're not even with. And so if this person is hot and cold, not committing, you don't know what's going on, there is a sign for some of you guys that, like, a message saying that if this person wants to be with you and they want to commit, they will show you. Like, they will take action. You will get a phone call from them. You will get a text. They'll tell you why they were out of communication. And yes, there is such thing as twin flame separation. Sometimes relationships have bumps in the road, but if you've been waiting for years and years and years and you haven't heard anything, or you've been reaching out and you're not getting anything, realize that you're worth somebody who is actually going to take action towards you, and you're worth somebody actually fighting for you, wanting to be there for you, pursuing you. So this is a message, don't worry. This situation will naturally smooth itself over. Somebody is coming in your life. You're going to be very, very happy. Not sure if it's this person, but the reunion that you're hoping for, the union, the love, romantically is coming in your life, and this situation might just be something that's been manifested for your growth. No one who comes across your path is by coincidence. There's always a lesson and a blessing from every connection, especially romantically, that you meet. But be open-minded to what the purpose of this connection is. Sometimes we just fall for someone hard and we think, oh, it's because we're supposed to be together. But sometimes it's like, no, there's a lesson you're supposed to learn here. So that might be a message for some of you guys. Now, the rest of you guys, I'm seeing, like, if you just keep feeling like you're going around in circles with this person, entertain the idea of moving forward and just kind of releasing it, kind of surrendering your will. You might have to face your fear because this has been something you've been hanging on to for a while. But this says leaving difficult times behind. The swan it's like realizing your beauty, realizing your inner and outer beauty, your worth, and realizing, you know what? If this person isn't going to just be clear with me or upfront with me, moving on. Bye, Felicia. Okay? So I hope that this helped you guys. Very interesting one there. A lot of different messages came out in this one. So once again, only trust the messages that resonate with you. And we're going to move forward to number 3. Okay. So for those of you guys who choose number 3, let's go ahead and get this message for you about how to handle this difficult person. So first, we're going to look into the general situation here, like what's going on, what's this person's deal, why are they difficult? Okay. So for a lot of you guys, I'm just getting this strong vibe that this is a very opinionated person. This is a very opinionated person. And this, for some of you guys, I see a male figure. It could be the father. It could be a boss, a friend, or something. If it's not a male figure, it's somebody who has really strong masculine energy. You know, we all have the masculine energy in us. This is just someone who really is very persuasive, they're loud, they're outgoing, they're energetic. There's some good qualities to them, but they're intense, you know? They have a really strong point of view. It's their way or the highway. They're extremely assertive. They do not back down from what they believe. It's very difficult to stand up to this person. So I'm kind of getting the vibe from a lot of you guys, this is family. This is family. Maybe your family is very traditional and they have certain beliefs of like what you should do. For instance, I had a client and I asked this person if I could tell their story anonymously on my channel because I just thought it would help a lot of people. So I do have permission. But this client basically came from a very traditional family and culture. And in where she grew up in the world and in her culture and in her tradition, it was basically kind of evil and like, you know, for a woman to dance. And it was very sexualized in her culture. And so like she loved dancing and she would get caught dancing all the time, like in front of her mirror and in her room and listening to music that was like not approved by the family or the culture. And so she would get punished for it, like really horrific punishments. And she basically, long story short, ended up like saving up all her money secretly and like running away to a place where she could dance and where she could do that and not be like, you know, not be criticized or privileged or not have to risk her life for it. And so anyways, one of the most amazing stories I've ever heard. So that's just an extreme kind of example here, but sometimes you can want something for your life or you can want to take a certain path, and like when you come out with that, your family or maybe people who are close to you can sometimes protest and say like, oh, well, how are you ever going to make money doing that? Or, oh, I heard that was kind of like this, or oh, that's evil, or that's too worldly, or that's too whatever. You know, especially sometimes when you grow up in certain religions, you're expected to kind of like, I mean, I'll just share my story. In the religion I grew up in, it was kind of like, you know, I'm supposed to marry a man from the religion. I'm supposed to have children right away. I'm supposed to like, you know, honor my husband, and I'm supposed to like, you know, there were certain things I should do and shouldn't do, you know, being a woman, and it was just kind of crazy, the expectations, the standards and everything, and my man was supposed to be the head of my household and just weird stuff like that. And so you know, sometimes when you get out of a situation like that, or culture, society, whatever it is, religion, tradition, and you want to go out in the world and you want to do something different, it can cause a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety. Excuse me, you guys. Been talking now for like a half hour. My voice is like giving out. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Sorry. I've been doing a lot of readings today. This is probably going to be the last one for the day because at a certain point my voice just starts to give up. But yeah, I'm not editing it out because realness all the way. So anyways, basically you're probably kind of worried about how am I going to get out of the situation, or how am I going to find my own path, or how do I please these people but also do what I love. It just feels like a family situation. And so you're trying to communicate what you want to do with your life and like the choices you want to make to them, and you have really good ideas, but then they get shot down by this family member or by the family or whatever. And so yeah, it's really, really difficult. I want to pull some cards and see how this is affecting you. How is this affecting you? Well, it's causing you to, like, you're worried about the wrath of the family, or you're worried about disappointing people. And so it's kind of causing you to be a hermit and kind of not express your true self, you know? You're kind of holding back from society. Like there's certain gifts and talents you have that you're not expressing because of fear of judgment, or how it's going to affect your relationship with the people that are closest to you. And you're it's almost like you're wearing this mask like around them to try to please them, but your true self is very different. So, and you have so many ideas and you're so creative, but you just don't know how you're ever going to be able to really like do what you want or just make it happen or put it out there, So, yeah, it's a difficult situation, difficult person or people. So let's go ahead and see what you can do about this. I'm already getting a lot of downloads. But, okay, so the first thing, this might be hard to hear, but it's like, do not look for approval or for permission to do what you want to do with your life. That's basically what you're looking for. You're looking for approval and you're looking for permission. And you might never get it from those people in your family or the friends or whoever this person is or people. I feel like it's a group of people, honestly, with you, instead of just being a difficult person. You're creative, you're different, you're on a different path. These people might never understand what it is that you're trying to do, And sadly enough, I think with a lot of you guys, you might have to leave this family or group of people behind. You might have to, save up and get out on your own, like that girl from the story I told you guys earlier. She eventually just had to like leave them behind and kind of just go out there and do her thing. She had to make a choice. So this is talking about balancing the situation. I think for a lot of you guys, just kind of keeping this to yourself and no longer bringing it up in topic can help. Like, that's how you can have boundaries with your family. Like, you might need to get your own place and to get out of there. If you're already getting your own place and stuff, you might just not need to bring up that topic around them and just make it clear that it's off limits. It might be hard. They might still bring it up sometimes, but like, eventually, like, you get to decide who you're going to be as an adult, what topics are off limits to you, what boundaries you can have, and that could balance the situation. And I've seen with a lot of people, a lot of my clients, that after kind of setting those boundaries, getting a little bit of space, and actually working hard towards their dreams and getting success, it's like later sometimes that the family is like, oh, I see what you're doing now. Sometimes they're treating you like that because they're just worried about you. They want to make sure that you're successful, especially if there's like a generation gap between you and this person. Like if this is your mother or your father or grandfather, whatever, grandmother or something like that. And maybe this person comes from another generation where like what it is that you're doing in your life wasn't very successful at the time, but the world has changed so much in the past 10 or 15 years with the advancement of the internet and social media and all that. So these days, like being an influencer or like selling your artwork or doing graphic design or something, you can be very successful at that. And maybe back in their day, that whole starving artist thing was like a real thing, and maybe 1 in a million made it. So they're just they believe in you, but it's also like they're worried, like, oh, you need to have a backup plan, or like you need to maybe go to college if you don't want to go or something like that. So they might be upset about what you're trying to study or what it is that like you're going out for in your life, or like maybe it's a lifestyle or the way you are. Maybe for some of you guys, like, you're gay or you're part of the LGBTQ, community or something, and the family's judging that. Or maybe it's the way that you dress, or maybe it's either a choice or like a way that you were born, or just like who you are that they're kind of discriminating against. And so it's very frustrating because you want to try here, but once again, for some of you guys, you might have to cut these people out or move forward. You'll find new family, there'll be new friends. There's such thing as soul family, and you'll find your real people. For the rest of you guys, just a little bit of space and time will help the situation. And I think it's really amazing. I've heard so many stories. Sometimes just after a little while, like the family or whoever this is usually comes to accept the situation and it's like, sorry, like they just need it. It can be a tool for growth and expansion for everybody, And then sometimes for other people, it's just they're never going to change. They're never going to accept it. They're always going to have this opinion, and you're just going to have to realize when you go around them that's how it is, or you're going to have to decide to not go around them. Whatever's best for you here. So it's really not a simple answer here. It's just hopefully some of these messages that came out will help. I want you to know that you can be proud of who you are. You can be proud of the unique person that you are. And what happened to me personally is I reached a point where the pain of not being myself and not going after what I wanted and not being my true self outweighed the pain of what are these people gonna think? What if they reject me or abandon me, or what if I get punished or I get judged or I disappoint them, or if it's wrong, or whatever. Like, eventually the pain of not being yourself becomes greater. And so sometimes that's what it takes to balance the situation. I know this can be a very painful situation, but you're worth it. I want you to know you're worth it. You can be proud of who you are. If you need to go out it alone in the world, you can. It's so worth it. And sometimes people come around, they just might have misconceptions, and then other times, once again, sometimes you just gotta let people go. But the true people who are meant to be in your life and who are meant to support you will always find you. You're never alone. The universe always sends someone. So anyways, you guys, realness today. Wow, this ended up being a really long reading. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Feel free to send your, to write about your situation. If you're in the comments and you see anybody who's writing about a difficult situation, just give them a heart, or, give them a like, and just write love and light, even if you don't know what to say. Give some people encouragement. Just tell them you can do it. I believe in you. Please don't give people too much advice, because everybody just needs to do what's best for them, but just write, good for you. Like, I believe in you. You can do it. Love and light. Let's all just support each other, and down in the comments below. And feel free to share what you're going through. And yeah, I hope that this resonates. Tomorrow we're going to have a little bit of a lighter topic here on the channel. Stay tuned. There's going to be pick a card readings coming out like every single day, you guys. I've got a lot coming on the channel in the week, so stay tuned. Peace out.